What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Trust the Bank podcast. If this is the first time you're ever watching the Trust the Bank podcast, how it works is it's 3 segments on YouTube. It's going to be a full podcast episode out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever that is. So wherever you're watching, go check out the other platforms. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, make sure to follow, make sure to like. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe for daily Ravens content. So the 3 segments that we have, it's going to be a lot of fun. These are coming out Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, all at 5 p.m. And we're going to be talking about in this video, this segment, we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson and kind of free time and discussing like what can he do? And we'll get into that. So obviously comment your thoughts and opinions on all the different subjects and all the videos. So make sure to come back tomorrow and the next day to talk about your opinions on what we have. Next one we're going to talk about is Deshaun Elliott. You know, he's in a contract year. What does he need to do? Is he going to be staying with the Ravens? Is he going to be on his way out? Like, did the Ravens need him? We're going to talk about all those types of things in that video. And then the final segment is we're going to talk about, is this the best wide receiver group / tight end group? You know, the pass catching group. Is it the best that the Ravens have ever had? Because to be frank, the Ravens have never really had a great pass catching tight end or pass catching group. So the Ravens really could this year have the best. So we talk about that in the final segment. So make sure to subscribe to see all that stuff. And let's get into this first segment where we talk about the biggest thing that's going on with the Ravens, because Lamar Jackson had the Lamar Jackson Fun Day down in Florida, giving back to the community. You know, I've given my thoughts on it, but, you know, Shannon Sharp came out. Shannon Sharp was basically saying, you know, don't do that stupid stuff. People are criticizing him. People are saying, oh, you can't do that. Then Ravens fans are going out and they're saying, well, look at this. Tom Brady, there's a video of Tom Brady going cliff jumping one year. There's a video of Trevor Lawrence jumping off a slippery dock. People are posting videos of Baker Mayfield in the boat with OBJ. People are saying a lot in the comment section like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers and Brady and Patrick Mahomes get to play golf. So let's talk about this. Is there anything that Lamar shouldn't be able to do in his free time? Now, I will preface this by saying, let's talk about things that are legal to do anyway, like things that are technically allowed by the NFL. So this is very different from things like, you know, Shannon Sharp made the bad comparison of saying it's like Josh Gordon smoking weed. Weed is a banned substance by the NFL. Whether or not it should be is a completely different issue than what the comparison was supposed to be. So things that are allowed by the NFL, but teams may not allow. Like, what should Lamar be able to do? And it's okay if your answer is he can do whatever he wants. That's okay as an answer. But, you know, I just want to say this before people get frustrated in the comments. These are our opinions. If you don't like our opinions, that's completely okay. Comment your opinions. We like to see what other people have to say on these types of issues, because this is a legitimate issue that there are multiple sides to. But Joshua, I've given my thoughts on the channel before on it. So what are your thoughts on kind of the entire situation and what's going on with Lamar Jackson?
Hey y'all, what's going on? I miss you guys. Yeah, let's get into it. Like McConnell said, you know, put your thoughts in this. Put your thoughts in the comment box. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're not here to say, "Oh, you're dumb, you're stupid." This is our opinions. And me personally, but Lamar, when it comes down to Lamar Jackson, if we're being honest, he's been highly and unfairly scrutinized since draft day. I mean,
yeah.
Let's go back
before draft day, the combine, high school, college, yeah.
He was supposed. In all reality, yes. When he got recruited, he's an athlete. But at the end of the day, when you see this young man play in high school, he played mostly quarterback. You know, we all know the story. University of Florida. You know, they was willing to give him a scholarship, but I think they was going to have him as second or third string, and he wanted to come in. You know, off the press high, he wanted to start as a quarterback. We all know who gave him a chance. University of Louisville. He did his thing for those 2 years, won the Heisman. They still feel like he could not, excel at the level of all these other NFL caliber quarterbacks. Of course, when we get to the combine, he was definitely scrutinized with his throwing ability and his accuracy. It was so many. We all know when it came to the interviews, he was asked so many times by the pressers if he would change his position if it was asked to. You know, what did he keep on saying? I'm a quarterback. I'm here to play quarterback. I'll get drafted. I'm playing quarterback. Got to the NFL. The Ravens took a chance on him. Now here we are. He ended up being the league's MVP. He ended up breaking records. And it's still not enough. Now, I'm gonna put it like this. Florida, Baltimore, Chicago, Texas, Alabama, California. When you got those guys that make it out of their circumstances, those are the type of dudes that's going to always give back. Lamar Jackson is a prime example of one of those young men that's going to give back and always look out for the younger generation. And you see, guys standing with him in solidarity. So, oh Lord, I'm getting the word wrong. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Ezekiel Elliott, those guys like that pretty much say like, look, LJ, still continue to be you. Me personally, I feel like, when it comes to certain things, playing around with the kids, interacting with the people, that's totally fine. Now, doing the one-on-ones, playing wide receiver DBs, you never know who wants to try to in your career or try to go out there and prove something. I mean, it's different from, T.O., he's a retired wide receiver going against one of Jackson State DBs or Jerry Rice, one of those Hall of Famer guys. They've already done their piece. They already written out their script. They already got their jacket. They made their acolytes. I mean, Lamar Jackson is still chasing his acolytes. He's still trying to chase the Super Bowl ring. But I am fine with him playing with the guys. I just need him to be careful, be safe. If he is going to do those one-on-one stuff like that, interact with the kids, put yourself in the best situation. Be out on a turf field, maybe even a grass field before you got some cleats on. Don't be on the basketball court with the flip-flops or just some tennis shoes on, man. Because like I said, it's always, even though it's good to get back to the community, you may still be connected to some people that you grew up with and things of that nature, but you never know who's out here hating on you. I mean, when he was doing a one-on-one, somebody could have literally, went at his knee or try to attack him in a different type of way, because we all know when we do one-on-ones and grow up playing on the streets, stuff like that, we play to prove something. I mean, I grew up playing tackle on the streets. So, I know how it was. I mean, I'm not going to knock Lamar for, living a life, because at the end of the day, he's a man just like you and I. He puts his shoes on the same way. He puts his, his pants on the same way. The only thing different is he's been blessed with a little bit more God-given talent, and now he's able to play a child sport for fun and get paid for it, which, he's out there having fun, and I love the way he plays the game. So, I don't mind him living his life to the fullest. You have to live your life to the fullest. You have to be, better than what you were yesterday. All I would say is be smart while you're having fun. You never know who's out there, trying to hurt you, get back at you for whatever reason, or you may steal their chance or opportunity. And of course, you're going down there with genuine, intentions, but you never know what that next person or even woman is out there trying to do, man. So I would just say, live your life, Lamar. Just be careful, my brother.
Yeah, I think, okay, so I mean, I've talked about this plenty of times, and the thing that I have to make clear, I make this clear every time, I don't see nobody is criticizing Lamar giving back to the community. That is not the purpose of when people say don't play, don't play like that on a basketball court. Joshua, I like what you brought up. Maybe if you're going to do it, do it on the grass, get some cleats on, reduce the injuries. So then if you fall, if you fall on concrete, you could get a concussion. Like, you honestly can. Now, the likelihood, I don't know. We don't know how, he's probably got a bit of a thick hit, thick skull, playing football. However, he's gotten concussions in the past. He's gotten multiple concussions in the past, and they've been minor. They haven't been like major, season-ending concussions. It's like minor concussions, but like, you trip, you fall, that type of thing. But if you're on the turf, if you're on the grass, it's reduced. And people like to say like, oh, well, Undisputed or ESPN, they're not bringing up that he's giving back to the kids. And it's like, yeah, because they don't disagree with that. Like, they all are like, good job. Like, that's what we want to see, is giving back to the community. But praise is not what goes in the media. So them just saying like, oh yeah, great job, Lamar, but don't do it that way. They're not going to say that, because the way that they're going to get views is by saying, overall, oh, Lamar, don't make stupid decisions or whatever, they end up saying.
the narrative, literally. And that's
Yeah,
how
it's
big narrative like that,
yeah.
that's what brings us in. So
Yeah. And so many people, like for me, I disagree with the way that Shannon Sharp went about saying his message. However, I believe that his message was correct in the idea that he's saying, don't get hurt, get your money. And you can play without, and I've also seen this argument, is I've made this case, is that maybe if you're playing on the concrete, you have Lamar be all-time quarterback. And I've seen people and they say like, oh, well, if he's all-time quarterback, they'd still find the media would still find a way to blame him and get mad at him. Okay, now that's the media's problem, okay? Just because a smaller version of something is bad doesn't mean that if you reduce it, it's, it's the same bad. Right now I think the bad is that he's risking injury. Now it would be reducing injury, and then it just becomes the media hates Lamar. However, I said it in another video where I basically said that Ravens fans, we've gotten into this sequence with the media and articles and everything where like it always seems like everybody's so against us that anytime we see something negative, we can't think critically and analyze the situation and say, okay, they have a point. Now, they're almost always going to portray that point in probably a bad way, and it doesn't sound good, but you got to look at the message. And in this case, I think that the message was right in the idea that, Lamar, don't get hurt. Now, I'm going to say this, don't really want to say this, but I'm going to say it in the fact that I am a Baltimore Ravens fan. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of the Baltimore Ravens over any player, over any, that's just who I am. I know some people, especially in basketball happens a lot. We got a lot of people that they're LeBron James fans and they follow LeBron James, two different types of fans. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. You may be a Ravens fan strictly because of Lamar and you're only rooting for Lamar. If Lamar went somewhere else, you would root for him. At that point, you can be like, Lamar, do whatever you want. Like for me, I think Lamar can do whatever you want. I don't know if they should restrict him. However, the Ravens, as a Ravens fan, you're worried like, okay, that's your franchise quarterback. That's the future. If he gets hurt, you're screwed. If y'all remember what happened when Joe Flacco got hurt, we had Matt Schwab out there. We had some piss poor quarterback play, and it was rough.
Yeah.
And that was when we lost Joe Flacco.
Didn't Matt Schwab tie like his interception record or something like that?
He tied his own consecutive games with a pick six record, which I believe was 4 consecutive games throwing a pick six. Like having it's scary. And I think, and so many people are saying, oh, well, the media doesn't criticize these other players. That's the media's problem. Just because, people are taking it as like it's one major issue. There were 5 major issues, okay? I don't know the exact number, but it's like one issue is Lamar, risking injury. Okay. Another issue is Lamar's being treated differently than everybody else. That is an issue. It's not the issue I'm talking about, but it is an issue. So your counter argument for saying it's, as an example, I saw a video a long time ago. I don't remember where somebody says, I hate when people counteract it with another problem. And basically somebody said, man, violence against women is so high. It's so bad. We need to stop it. Okay. Yeah. And then somebody else replies and they say, oh yeah, well, violence against men happens too. And the person that says the thing about women is like, yeah, that's also an issue. Just because that's an issue doesn't mean that it negates the other issue. Like, yeah, they're both issues.
It's not being annoyed. We're just handling this issue that's being, addressed at this time.
Like we all know
it's going to come. It's going to come that if this is our platform, so I'm gonna say it. It's going to come about the color. If we're going to be real, I know they're going to eventually bring it up. As far as him being a poster boy, him being the face of a franchise, him being the face, for anybody to sponsor stuff like that. So those things are going to come. I know they're not. And watch, someone's going to say, "Well, he's no Russell Wilson," and I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave it right there.
That's a good place to leave it. I mean, it's just one of those things where there's so many issues going around that we're trying to condense it into one major issue. We got to be able to split it up and see, oh, there's a small point from this that maybe we can take from it. But comment your opinions, comment your thoughts. That's going to do it for this segment.